Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Medicare Cafe. We are in the pre-chat portion. We're just logging on a couple minutes early.
I don't even see a time.
It's 9:58.
Minutes. Our hair's looking the same color right now.
I know. Did you go darker? Or
No. My hair's just straight, and so whenever I straighten it, everybody thinks it looks different.
Yeah,
I'm
looks
actually
really
lightening
long.
it.
You are lightening
and cutting it.
Oh my gosh.
In a
What an
couple weeks.
adventure.
Yeah, sorry.
Mine is looked this way for the last
Mine
10
can't
years.
I can't even, it's so long I can't even get it in the screen.
Look how pretty we are. Look at this double chin. You know what I've been watching lately?
What?
During my workouts, which has been providing tremendous motivation, is the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders thing on Netflix.
One of my good friends from high school was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Was she? Mm-hmm. There's a girl in there from Columbia, Missouri. I'm like, I don't recognize you, but I'll pretend like I do. Yeah. And like they're children compared to us.
Yes.
But anyways. But no, so Carrie and I were kind of jumping on a little early and chatting about her experience. I won't say specific carriers. I won't say anything specific because I don't want to put anyone on blast. But just kind of saying got some bad advice from a carrier that you're saying you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And being like, hey, I want to do ANOX. I'm introducing myself to my rep. I want to work with you. Let's do it together. And they were just like, yeah, what do you want? Like, what do you want from me? Like, well, I want to do these ANOX, one of these things. They're like, oh, I can't give you the ANOX and you don't have to register it, which both are just inaccurate.
Yeah.
So it goes to show, as we know,
how do I register this event? Well, he said I don't have to register.
That's so not true because it's a formal sales event. Because you're talking about carrier benefits. Quite literally, the notices of change about their benefits. You're talking about carrier benefits. That has to be a formal.
So I'm striking out so far on my first attempt at an ANOC.
And it is unfortunate, especially last year. A lot of the carriers thinned house.
Yeah.
Thinned. The resources of people.
I know what you're saying.
And so some of them were just like, oh, you picked that person over that person. Okay. No one asked our opinions on that, but that's okay. So it did, some of those resources are less available. Really important to lean on your upline. Really important to lean on who you work with to get that done. Obviously, we say hey, get it from the horse's mouth. That's the carrier. Not always the case. So yes, the carrier representatives can give you ANOC information as the clients get it. It's not likely you'll get it before the client. It's not like
I wasn't even asking it before the client. I said before. I just said before the meeting, which would be in October.
And those clients will get it the last week of September. So usually when the clients have it in hand, you can have access to it.
Yeah.
It's just. Not all reps are created equal.
But I'm glad, we've talked about this so much that, I knew that was wrong.
Confidence. Yeah.
I knew it was wrong to, not just say, okay, I'll just host an ANOC meeting willy-nilly. Don't need to register it.
No, it's inaccurate. Now, something that, again, I don't want to just, get on here and put reps on blast because, what's something that's happened over the last few years, it used to be, reps were, musical chairs. They went, everywhere. You never knew where they're going to be. Okay. The reps that we've been working with for the last several years have been just
great,
amazing, truly amazing people. But we are definitely in a world where agents get information from the reps who you would think is a credible source. For example, Ready to Sell. They'll look at the rep will be like, I'm looking at here. It looks like you've done your certifications. You're ready to sell. Let's go. But then the reps don't know to look at licensing or other types of standings or the election. So always just double check, get multiple sources of information.
For sure. I'm super anal about my certs, making sure, triple checking. I'm good.
Haven't started yet. I can tell everybody else do your certs early.
I haven't.
You
seem like a procrastinator. You seem like a procrastinator.
No, I take that in stride. It's actually a part of my personality. It's on my resume.
That word is not in my vocabulary.
No, it shouldn't be. It wouldn't be for you. You have a spreadsheet of benefits. I'm just it'll come to me in a dream.
Sometime after the cafe, I'll tell you about another spreadsheet I have.
Oh, I can't wait. It's
full dork over here.
It's are you one of those ones that what is it? A freak in the sheets, but it's Excel sheets.
Oh,
have you not seen this? I'm gonna get you a coffee mug. Say I'm very professional, but a freak in the sheets, and it's talking about the Excel spreadsheets.
That's awesome.
Welcome to Medicare Cafe After Hours. But no, I'm thinking what I'm gonna do. I actually been getting a lot of questions on that before we get started. And I know we're 3 minutes over. You'll be fine. I'm really thinking about doing the NABIP certification versus the AHIP.
Okay.
Because, like, again,
because of the CE
credits. Mm-hmm. And, like, it sucks that Aetna doesn't take it, but Aetna does have their own certs, and it's, like, really easy. Their certifications are really easy.
I have to get 40 CE credits for my CFP, and they overlap, but I can get dual credits for insurance, so I never really have to take the insurance ones.
Nice. Well, that's easy.
Because I'm taking double.
You have a spreadsheet for that, too?
No, I don't.
No. I will let everybody here know we've been getting a lot of carrier updates lately, but like, you know, we have the carrier rollouts. UHC's is late this year. It's the first week of August, I believe. But currently, Joanne Ray, our president of Senior Marketing Specialist at McNerney Management Group, managing partner, she's currently in Dallas at the Aetna rollout. And the only thing she texted me last night was that they're hearing a lot of service area reductions. But Aetna has not been quiet about that. They've been publishing everywhere that they're expecting to lose membership this year, and they're expecting to have some SARs. But not necessarily a bad thing. If you are in a service area reduction for Aetna, it just means that your AEP just got longer. Because anybody in a service area reduction, you don't have to see before December 7th. You can see them December 8th through the end of the year.
Interesting.
So anybody who's experiencing an SAR this year, you don't have to fit them in October 15th through December 7th.
What's that election period?
It's service area reduction, election SAR, service area. And, like, they're not the only ones. Like, there's a whole company exiting, Blue KC's exiting, Alliant. There's so many
So for, like,
carriers.
Mutual of Omaha, if they're leaving and I'm switching someone from that, I'm not using the AEP election
You don't
period?
have to. No, just SAR.
Not that it matters.
Service area reduction.
Interesting.
And that election goes from December 8th to the last day of February, whether it's the 20th or 29th, and then the effective date's the day after. But, like, obviously, like, if a person doesn't enroll in that plan before January 1st, then January 1st they're on original Medicare.
Right.
So they want something before them. But even if they do use that election, an SAR election, even if they're in AEP and they use AEP and they have a different plan starting January 1st, you still have that election. So somebody who is experiencing an SAR could be in a new plan come January, still have the OEP election, and have an SAR election.
Well, how long does the SAR election go?
Until last day of February.
Last day of February.
Whatever that may be.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, again, just something to keep in mind. This is not what we're talking about today, but something to keep in mind for your clients. Like, we know this AEP, we're having another AEP-themed cafe. But if you are an area that is experiencing these SARs, which we don't know for sure which ones yet, but just knowing that every carrier, Cigna actually said that, like, we're not reducing like benefits that much. We're not reducing area, we're just not expanding. Other carriers are saying we're expanding, but we're also retracting in other areas. So every carrier, again, this AEP is going to be a madhouse. More to come. But just know, like, we'll have a webinar this Friday talking about, like, what's Aetna saying? Where are they going to pull back? They've been the most vocal about it.
Mary asked, with an SAR, can someone switch to original Medicare and get a GI med
You sure can. So it would be considered guarantee issue. Yep. So MACRA does apply. So either Plan F or G prior, if they're eligible prior to 2020, or Plan F or C, D or G after 2020. So they do get guarantee issue to MedSup if they are in a service area reduction.
No way.
So if you have people who want to go back to that MedSup,
so everybody in Kansas.
Anybody on, like, a Blue KC plan could get a guarantee issue Medicare supplement. But keep in mind,
and are they in,
your
and that's
commissions
on the Kansas side too?
Well, if there's an SAR. If that plan is there and then it's not. Now, SAR is not the same thing as plan mapping. So, like, if a plan's saying, like, oh, this plan doesn't exist anymore, but we're mapping everybody to another plan, which is, because we haven't really seen SARs in the last few years.
Is Blue KC doing that?
No, Blue KC's out.
Okay.
Same as, like, a lot of these other areas. But, like, if they're mapping, you have to double check. Is this a true SAR or is the mapping over? If it's a mapping over, those rules don't apply. But if it's a true SAR, which this year is the first year in a long time we might see some mass SARs, service area reductions, those are guarantee issues. But your commissions will not be good.
Right.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
And it's limited on the plan. It's guarantee issue, not open enrollment.
Will SMS be putting together a list of the SARs for us?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll just have to get them first. And the problem is with that, Mary, is that, like, we may not know exactly all of them until October 1st. Same thing with, like, non-commissionable plans. We won't know all those.
Will just be doing crunch work October 1.
So we will, agents will, clients will panic. I'm going to start a riot, but, like, a fun riot. Like, I'm not going to carry a torch.
But you know what? That's when you're still just like so jacked up about AEP that like you're
just
not
in it.
tired
You're
yet.
right.
Yeah.
Let's get in there.
Bring it on.
Let's get in there. Okay.
What are we
That's not
talking
even
about
our
today?
topic today. Sorry for everybody who's like, I'm 8 minutes in and you guys have not started talking about how to train my
Get
clients.
the bottle ready. That's right, Mary.
Let's go. Today we are talking about part 2 of the prepping your clients for AEP.
I missed part 1.
I think I
Did
did
I?
too. I wasn't here for part 1
Okay.
either.
You just get the best part today.
I just get the part 2. It's like the deuce.
Bringing it home.
That's what I do. That's what I do around here. I show up, know nothing, and talk a lot. So we've been talking about the reason why, again, Medicare Cafe, our media team, which is Sadie, Clayton, and Ben, who come up with these topics and everything. Mm-hmm. Their biggest thing was like what we're hearing from agents is that my clients will not do that. Like my clients are not going to do that. I don't want to
do what?
Well, like for example, like entering their own drug list.
Right.
My clients aren't going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
My clients my clients are going to be so upset if I can't talk about their chocolate chip recipe this year. Like just knowing that, like, again, if we know with this AEP, with a up to a 70% shopping rate, we haven't even gotten to like the CMS reversal of the Chevron thing. We should, chaos. Anyways, we still know that there's a 70% likelihood of an up to a 70% shopper rate. If you, I think Chaylins did the math. If you work 6 days a week, do not take off a single holiday, work during Thanksgiving, and have 9 appointments a day. So if you do like 9 1-hour appointments, you could only get 500 people. That's 6 days a week, no days off.
Okay.
It was more than 9. I think it was like 10 appointments today. You could only
so
get
the
500.
stats are good for me working like 20 hours a week.
Nobody wants to do that. That's not sustainable. So you will have to do things different with your clients. You will have to, make sure your clients know that it is going to look different this year and understand. And like, I really like this approach that they took was like, understanding that your client has to be like a revolving, like if you have an office, it basically needs to be a revolving door. Mm-hmm. You have to have your systems and processes from the time that consumer walks into your office to the point where they're leaving to go on the next thing has to work like as uniform as a doctor's office or a lawyer's office, because time is money. Quite literally this year.
I want to read, so my I just approved my like AEP newsletter to go out.
Let me hear it.
And I love how our marketing team wrote, for how they phrased something. It might take me a quick second
I'll just keep
to find it. So we'll keep talking while I'm looking for it because I really like it.
Yeah. So the biggest thing I can say, and I want this written on my tombstone. If anybody ever quotes me for anything, number 1, it's going to be meow. Number 2, it's going to be, I truly believe that success, the only way to measure success is to look at how well expectations are met.
Yep.
Setting the expectations are crucial for somebody having a really positive experience. Because if you did something like, oh my gosh, that went so well, I got this client in and out of there, they're on the right plan, perfect, that went awesome. But that client was expecting your normal, like, let's sit down, let's catch up. I wanted to show you pictures of my grandkids, and that means that like they didn't see that as successful because their expectations weren't met. So really making sure your clients truly understand, hey guys, this year it is going to be a different experience. This appointment's going to be at a different appointment than what you're used to.
Okay, so this was just on like for being efficient gathering the information. So I'm just going to read it how it is. It says other stuff, of course, but in one of the last paragraphs it says, as you know, this time of year is very busy. Many people will be contacting us to update their drug list. If you're able, emailing or texting will be the easiest form of communication to cut down on the back and forth phone calls. However, you are still more than welcome to call if you prefer. That is so helpful to me.
Yes.
Well, and everything's going to my assistant.
I think it's
and like that's written on there too. So like,
yeah. I think it's important to say, like, whenever we're talking about adding technology and people and agents, more worried about, like, less worried about how they're going to handle the technology, but more worried about how their clients are going to interpret the technology and, like, those systems. It should never replace a consumer experience. Like, you shouldn't, like, it should never, your client experience should not change based on the use of technology. It should change your systems and your processes.
But just like think about like if they are good about getting you everything beforehand, there's no reason why your meeting would need to go more than 30 minutes, even if And that's with like talking. Like you can still have a little bit of personal talk
Yeah.
in there.
I'm not
Because like
saying-
an app, like doing everything would take 15 minutes. So yeah.
But it's crazy how much of an appointment space is taken up by collecting that information, entering it in,
Yes.
double checking
Yes.
everything, like getting that.
Yep.
And again, Medicare Center has announced Client Sync, that they will have that available by the end of the month, where you're going to be able to actually send clients their own profiles and they update their own medications and their own everything.
Something that this happens every year, and it just happened to me yesterday, because I had clients already wanting to schedule their AEP meeting. And
Which
she
awesome.
was looking at her calendar and she was like, "Oh, I have a doctor's appointment on the 17th. Should we wait and meet after that?" Yes, 1,000 times yes, because your drug list could change. That happens
Great point.
so many times. And I have several clients who ask me that, like, should I wait until after my doctor's appointment?
The only time I would disagree with that,
And I like waiting.
I agree. That
Yep.
makes sense. The only reason why I would differ from that is that if you're wanting to underwrite them into a product, like a cancer insurance plan,
Oh, yeah.
then getting them that cancer insurance plan before their appointment.
Yes.
So that
True.
by the time it's on their MBI, it's not showing that
It's
they
not
have
showing
anything,
that they have anything.
to be concerned
Yep.
about.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of PDP reasons.
So PDP for sure, MA, PD 100%, because like you got to know their health.
Yep.
But like if you're wanting to underwrite them any product, hospital indemnity, Medicare supplement,
Ancillary thoughts
ancillary
there.
stuff, I like would recommend doing that before a
sure.
doctor's appointment.
Yep, for
Just
sure.
my 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so getting into it, obviously setting the expectation, letting them know. This is again, we've kind of already talked about this. One thing that a lot of agents are trying to do this year, ones who are again like really, really concerned about, this is where the appointments where I build the relationship. They want, like I know Colby Lehman, he actually like sent a video. He did this video, it was my favorite thing ever, the day in the life of an agent. And he was going to his appointments. Have you not seen it?
I don't think
It's
so.
my favorite. I literally was like, I'm quitting my job. I'm going to go sell full time. Like it was amazing.
What?
So
When did he do that?
it was about a year or two ago, and he literally is like in the appointment with his clients, and he got his clients and they were just laughing and joking with each other, and they're on camera waving, and he was like, "Hey, this is what it looks like to be an agent. I'm currently installing my client's Blu-ray player because they don't know how to do it. Their son can't make it until next week, so I'm installing their Blu-ray player." I was like, "But I'm like just just helping people and just like being like." Yeah, like I don't really need to see this person, but I haven't talked to him in a while. She invited me over for coffee and tea and cupcakes. That's what I'm doing, and like we'll see maybe I'll talk to her about cancer plan or something like that. And like you can't do that during the AEP. But if you don't tell your clients that, the clients who you spent your time setting up their Blu-ray player for,
Right.
when you're in and out and in a hurry and asking to do things ahead of time, it feels really abrasive. So just letting them know, I think what a lot of agents who are really anxious about like not having that quality time, that just not sales, just rekindle a friendship time. My nails match the color almost exactly.
Wow.
Okay, anyways, are the people who we're really recommending that they do a client appreciation event before or after.
Yep, I knew you were gonna
So
say
a lot of people do it before because then you can like
get some of those conversations out of the way.
get the QR code. Like, hey, scan this code, update your drug list. Like here's the QR code with my paw, personal agent website, scan it, update it, and then like let's talk. And then at that appointment or at that face to face, obviously you're having them bring their friends, you're bringing their loved ones, so you're having like a really good feel good moment right before AEP.
Yep.
And you set the expectation of like, I just wanted to get him, be able to get everybody together because this year during AEP, we're looking at shortening those appointments. If you're used to an hour, less than 30 minutes. So let's get that off the table now. Set those expectations. Certainly worth
I
it.
could also see a little bit of that happening at my ANOC meeting.
100%.
Not a full client appreciation event.
No, but just getting face to face.
But getting
people,
face to face.
People getting to see you and like rekindle that friendship of yours 100%. So any type of event. It doesn't have to be an appreciation, but like those ANOC meetings, just like on a mass basis. Anything you can do to build a relationship on a mass basis. Social media. Telling people, doing videos on social media, telling people like, hey, this is what appointment's going to look like. Here's what to expect. Here's what to expect this AEP when you're meeting with me. Just setting those expectations.
I started a new social media series that
What is it?
I love because they're quick and so easy for me.
I love that.
Medicare acronyms. Someone asked me
What a great idea.
Someone asked me what AEP stood for the other day, and then someone else was like, what is PDP on here? And I was like,
Things
and so
that,
I have like 30 that I'm going to do.
That's
and I'm
the
excited
coolest.
for it because I can just they're like 20-second videos.
That's
I
the
explain a
coolest.
little
Like,
bit about it.
MOOP, True Op,
Yep. HMO, PPO, IRMA, AEP, IEP.
That's a nugget. That's a nugget.
even
If you
remember
guys
all
aren't
of
gonna
them.
do that, I mean that's huge. And like there's like a whole thing on CMS is like understanding
CMS
acronyms.
was one.
CMS is one. There you go. A whole thing about
Yep.
like understanding acronyms. So there's like
LIS.
tons.
Yep, there's tons.
Tons of content. What a
Yep.
great video series. Let me see.
Sorry, I sidetracked us.
No, you're good. So again, part of setting the expectations, one thing that an agency is doing is they're actually having AEP checklists for their clients. And
interesting.
yes, and
Tell me
saying-
more.
Yes, and saying like, here's what you need to do prior to our appointment. Attend one of my events. Follow me on social media. Some of it's like bring the decision maker or friend to one of these events. Drop off intake forms, things like that. So they're actually creating now.
How are they getting these? Just emailing them out?
These
checklists?
These checklists. Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of it's just like emailing it out, putting it on their social media, things like that. Kind of like a here's what to expect my appointment, but like here's a checklist. Now, I have been getting some questions lately about people being like, do I require, like if I, especially my clients or agents that have like 1,500 clients plus, they're saying like, I can't, there isn't a possibility, even if I don't have appointments for most of them, that I meet or talk to all of them.
True.
So like, do I make it a requirement? Can I say that you're required to go to an ANOC before I have an appointment, before I have a scheduling with you? I know I do, like your heart rate just went up a little bit. I think that's 100% up to the agency. I think that having a barrier to entry can create this idea of like exclusivity and like your value. Like when you create a barrier to entry, it makes the value go up.
I'm a checklist girl, so I think I was like overly excited at first, but now, yeah, I feel like it would be almost.
But again, you could create, so like your checklist, if you create a checklist, like here's what you need to have before the appointment. Again, you could have optional, attend one of my events, ANOC, Medicare, whatever. Send me an updated drug list. Send me your updated provider. And then you could have on there, review your ANOC meeting, whatever. Like you could have like a full checklist of like what to do, confirm your appointment.
Yep.
Have appointment, follow up.
Interesting.
Yes. So
Interesting.
putting a little bit just on making the client understand that, some of the work might be back on them this
It's
year.
Orange Day. Look at that.
This is like
You
quite
should have
literally
my-
the same color.
color.
Yeah. Bright. Okay. The last thing I'm going to preach to you guys, come to our AEP boot camps. We're doing 3 in-person events. July 23rd is going to be in Blue Springs, Missouri. July 25th in St. Charles. And July 31st here in Columbia,
What can
Missouri.
we expect at these boot camps?
It is going to be, so we're going to go over the disruptions. We're going to go over truly like what is going on in AEP between what's going on with MedSup, what's going on with PDP, what's going on with CMS. We're going to go over like what to expect this AEP. And then it's all solutions. We're going to help you come up with solutions for your communication, up with solutions for your events and mass marketing, your solutions for time and shortening your AEP appointments, and then your solutions for AEP resources like Medicare Center, our AEP Toolkit, Lead Center, things like that.
Where's
it's about three
Where's
three
the
hours.
one here in Columbia at?
In
Here?
office.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be in our training center right over there. So it's going to be here. We'll have coffee and donuts and lots of good times to follow.
Awesome.
So it should be good. If you want to register for those events, please, again, we'd love to get to see everybody. Also has some time for you to meet with other agents, network, meet with our team as well. Go to smsteam.net, click on the events tab, and you can register for those events there. We will have coffee and snacks. I did ask that this morning. Like, there will be snacks.
There will be snacks.
Yes, Olivia,
Has
we will
to be
feed
snacks.
you. Okay, there's snacks. Snacks.
I was just totally thinking of something that happened yesterday that
Tell me about the
would
thing
be
that
interesting to share.
Okay.
That I feel like it's an untapped, well, it could be tapped and I just don't know it.
We'll find out.
You know what I found out yesterday? So I have a new client who's a pilot. He worked for United, and it does not matter what airline you work for. It is a federal rule that they make you retire at 65.
Really?
They
So he
make
was like,
you
was he like
retire.
a commercial pilot? Okay. And he worked for United Airlines, not United Healthcare. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry,
My
United
brain
Airlines.
is warped. for insurance.
So
It's like,
I'm
wow.
like, okay, if every pilot has to retire at 65, like I want to hook up with United and American and
That would
Frontier.
be huge.
Is it Frontier still an airline?
What's
Like,
the
I
retirement?
want-
I would assume like they would have crazy retirement benefits.
They do offer a retiree plan, but it wasn't very good, especially for the spouse.
Boeing must have made it.
So
It just falls apart, goes missing actually.
So, like I don't know. There's something there. Like
There is something there.
There's something there.
Yeah, no, that's huge. It was back when I was in the St. Louis area, and I think it was who's that big company? Is it Boeing? Something with a B in St. Louis, but that was one that like we had an agent that just anytime you met because everybody's employed by them.
Okay.
And then they went through a massive change in their benefits, and so like when he found out about that, he just called everybody. She's like, "Are you
Oh
unhappy?"
my gosh.
And just like made a killing because of that relationship. So yeah, get in there, girl.
Oh, just call up United.
Surely. I can't tell if the orange is
Drawing me in.
Come to me, Sherry. I like it, I think.
So, I don't know. And I also think it's weird. And he was like, oh, yeah, because he was healthy as can be. And he was like, I could have flown for 5 more years at least.
Did you know that you can't have sleep apnea? Like, you can't have a CPAP machine and be a pilot. They won't let you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It doesn't to me. Because you're sleepy?
Just like, what if you fell asleep? I don't know.
Well, sleep apnea is like when you just can't breathe when you sleep.
Right. But like, what if you... I don't know. I feel like there's lots of weird pilot things. But to like legally force somebody to stop working at 65, no matter your health condition.
That's cool.
That's crazy to me.
That's wild. Lee, good morning, Lee. He goes, in years past, some Part D plans were $0 premium and $0 commissions. What are the thoughts about insurance companies not paying commissions again? Lee, so that's a great question. So the Part D market was flipped on its head. It's continuing to get flipped on its head, but is now being flipped on it for a different reason. So we know, again, what's called the Chevron case was overturned July 3rd, meaning that CMS having the ability to just come up and say, this is the rules, here's the regulations, there you go. They're now saying like they don't actually have the merit to do any of that because they're not an elected official. So for them to be able to make legislation or rules, that's not allowed. Plus we have that, there's that, but then it also went towards the Americans for Beneficiaries Choice. Didn't necessarily win the lawsuit, but they did get the courts to agree on a stay, the courts in Texas, to say, hey, CMS, you don't have the grounds to affect commissions of an FMO and the upline. So we're just going to do a stay for all of this until there is more time to officiate what's exactly going on. So what does that mean? Carriers like Cigna, for example, have said everything goes back to normal. We are not anything with the final rule associated with commissions and financing. We're ignoring, meaning that like co-op might be a thing this year, paying for HSAs, HRAs, VBEs. Cigna saying they're going to keep doing it. What extra $100 on PDP that people were getting, they're saying we're not going to pay that. We don't have to. So the idea where a lot of carriers are coming out with saying we're probably going to make most of our prescription drug plans zero commission is still very much a possibility thanks to smoothing, the IRA, things like that. It's still very much a possibility, but carriers are now not worried about having to come up with an extra $100. It also got rid of the ruling that it's all or nothing. So you might see some carriers come out with a shortened or smaller commission versus the full commission on PDP.
Okay.
So just
smaller than the small?
Smaller than the small. But because again, it was supposed to go up $50 and $100. So like that was basically causing like PDP plans to say we don't have the money to pay that. So all that to be said, again, there's so much to be digested within that conversation. Today is not the day or not the time to do it because it's already almost 10:30. But because of all of that, carriers, Part D carriers like Cigna, for example, again, Cigna's like loud and proud. Like they're the ones like who are on the front of the lines telling everybody this is exactly what we're doing.
Cigna meds up.
Oh, different. Completely different.
Yeah.
But still. Anyway.
They're a thorn in my side.
Why are they a thorn in your side? Oh, in Missouri, you're going to have to write a lot of Cigna meds up in the upcoming months.
I've been starting to.
Yeah,
and
they're going to be huge.
For a disability app, you can't do it just like UHC. You can't do it online.
Mm-hmm.
The paper app, tell me how this is. I almost texted you, but I didn't want to bother you.
They're never bothering me.
I always just send you weird things. So look at so this is for a open enrollment.
Uh-huh.
If you're eligible for open enrollment and answered no to these health questions, then you get preferred rating. How can someone in a guarantee situation or open enrollment
Is it
answer
smoking
health?
and height and weight?
No, it's
is-
like AFib, COPD.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Because in like some states, depending on if you're a guarantee show open enrollment, some of those questions are considered lifestyle, not health. So they can ask.
No,
and give
these
you
are
rates
like
according.
recent surgeries, like within the past 2 years, and it's like 12 conditions.
Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting. Definitely need to ask that. Ask somebody smarter than me. But anyways, that all being said, as far as Part D commissions goes, it's still likely that some carriers are going to come out with non-commissionable plans. I am a big believer that Part D, regardless of how much it pays, is one of the top ways for you to get
For sure.
referrals, top ways for retention, the easiest way to find extra premium and to save somebody money. So it's basically just a cost of doing business is enrolling
Like
in Part
milk.
D.
You buy milk.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what price it is because I have to buy milk.
You just got to do it.
I don't know what I get paid on PDPs because I just got to do it.
Again, I always equate it to
Whether it's 0 or 100.
a dentist. Like, dentists don't make any money off cleaning your teeth.
Yeah.
But, like, they got to do it.
Yeah.
Any questions? Again, those are those dates. Any questions, comments, concerns, threats, or promises, please let us know. We'd love to see everybody in Columbia or Blue Springs or St. Charles. We'd love to see everybody there. You get to actually hang out with Ben and Clayton and myself. Rachel Brandmeier, our VP of Business Development, will be there as well. So come hang out with us. We're going to have a good time.
I just might.
I'd be the happiest. If you came to the Columbia class, you would be like a celebrity.
Oh.
Everybody would run next to Carrie.
No. Okay, now you just made me not come. Now I'm not coming.
That's not true. All right, y'all, that's all we have for today. Anything else, let us know. Oh, Chrissy, that makes me sad. Chrissy, I don't know what you're doing instead, but you should just come
What
anyways.
day is the 31st?
It's the 31st is a Wednesday, so it's next Tuesday, next Thursday, and then the Wednesday following. Yes, good stuff. All right, guys, so until next, so that means I won't be here for cafe.
Okay.
Neither will Clayton, neither will Sadie, neither will Ben.
So
We'll figure out
show?
cafe. It'll be a Carrie show.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. All right, until next time, guys, have fun
Make money.
and give impeccable service. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks.